want to recommend to you today a DVD, a film titled Enemies Within the Church. It's a documentary film that is available for purchase, and I want to encourage you to go to the website AMEnemieswithinthechurch.com. Let me tell you why. As a follower of Heart of a Shepherd, you have perhaps noticed over the years that I often mourn and decry the failings of Bible fundamental churches, colleges, universities, seminaries, and institutions, including camps and mission boards. You know, with the generational change in leadership, that was inevitable. New leaders have introduced into what were once Bible fundamental-centered, Christ-centered institutions, and they've introduced a philosophy of progressive pragmatism. Now, what has the effect been? Well, it's been the erosion of scriptural convictions that really has proven catastrophic. Bible colleges have closed, and our churches are failing. Sacrificing guiding principles and spiritual disciplines that once defined them, fundamental churches and institutions have betrayed their legacy rather than equipping the next generation with the training and disciplines necessary for the work of the ministry. The policies and values of faculties and administrators have eroded the passion and conviction of our youth. They have failed to keep the chapel platform hot. They have failed to reprove, rebuke, and exhort with all longsuffering and doctrine, as we read in 2 Timothy 4 and verse 2. Our churches and our colleges and our Bible universities are catering to carnality and accommodating spiritual immaturity. What has happened? Well, our fundamental institutions weathered the societal revolution of the 1960s, the technological revolution of the 1990s, and even the early 21st century. Why have they suddenly embraced a worldly wise philosophy of life and ministry? And I've often wondered who and what are the influencers. You know, I once thought the problem was spiritual naivety and a tragic lack of spiritual discernment. But I've come to believe that there are enemies within our fundamental churches, enemies within our Bible colleges, within our universities, within our seminaries, that they are wolves in sheep's clothing, and they are in the midst. And I have realized that their purpose is not to build, but to divide and ultimately destroy us. I am challenging you, order Enemies Within the Church. It is a documentary not about independent Bible-believing churches or institutions, but it is about the neo-evangelical crowd and their colleges, their universities, their seminaries, and their churches that have all failed to stay true to the Scriptures. Enemies Within the Church exposes the enemies in the 21st century church. And I can guarantee you, you may be shocked, as I was, to hear some of the biggest and most applauded names in the American church, we could say in the broth and the breadth of evangelicalism, are actually enemies within the church because they have compromised, leaving many believers facing the dilemma of either leaving or continuing to support men and institutions that are hopelessly corrupt. And my friend, you may be a member or a student in one of them. Would you order Enemies in the Church, within the church, for yourself? And watch and listen. It's a 2-hour documentary. It's wonderfully done. And I pray that it'll open your eyes. That many of you that are true, faithful, conservative, Bible-believing believers, you find yourself in a church that is no longer true, that it would urge you to seek the truth. God bless you. I hope you'll follow me up on this challenge to you. You can also go to heartofashepherd.com, and there you'll find more information that you might need to seek the truth. Thank you for joining me, and bye-bye.